Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Community and Social Services. Last spring, the government introduced Bill 148, making drastic changes to employment and labour laws. They did no cost-benefit analysis. Speaker, no cost-benefit analysis. And now social service agencies face millions in new costs, unfunded costs. OASIS, which represents nearly 200 agencies in the developmental services sector, told the government, and I quote, "Without increased funding to the sector by the relevant ministries, Bill 148 threatens the sector's ability to carry out its work. It cannot be overstated that this will have an impact on the lives of the people served by this sector." End quote. Speaker, why did the minister not speak up against a bill that threatens the very people she's supposed to protect?
Question. That's a great question.
Thank you. Minister of Community and Social Services.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I and we on this side of the House, of course, are extremely proud of Bill 148 and the types of protections that are provided in that bill for some of the workers in our province who are working for minimal wage at the moment, at minimum wage, and also in precarious employment. So, of course, the provisions of this bill are extremely important to all vulnerable Ontarians, and in particular as it relates to the agencies that my ministry has transfer payment agreements with. Of course, we're working with them and looking at the impact that that bill will have on services. That conversation continues, and we're extremely aware of some of the comments that the agencies have made. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the minister is not listening to OASIS and its members. It sounds like she's just speaking up for the Premier. Many agencies have not seen a core funding increase for 9 years, and now OASIS estimates that Bill 148 will add at least $55.96 million in new costs. One example, Community Living Toronto expects a reduction of 80,000 service hours a year through the loss of 40-plus full-time positions. OASIS and others have made practical suggestions, but so far their efforts have been met with silence. I wrote the minister last summer about this issue, and she replied, and I quote, "I have also heard the trepidation amongst agencies," but she offers no solution to offset their costs. If the minister can really hear the trepidation, why won't she do something about it?
Thank you. Minister.
Well, again, Mr. Speaker, we are very proud of the provisions of Bill 148, and we certainly stand behind our leader, and we're totally united on this side of the House in terms of those important provisions. As it relates to the agencies, we're working with them, we're listening to them. We are obviously looking at potential impact on some of the situations that do occur with these agencies caring for those with developmental disabilities and vulnerable people. Obviously, there are requirements for shift work, for some urgent situations that need to be addressed, and we will continue to work with the agencies. I meet with them regularly. We certainly, on this side of the House, are listening, and it's quite clear that we will continue to work together with them on a solution. Thank you.